Hey guys, what's up? Shin0525 back with more part 3 of my paint tool side tutorial. If you watch other parts, you've seen how ultimately terrible they are. With all the stopping, the video stopping and all that stuff. But anyway, this video we're actually going to do the shading. So, what you're going to want to start out with doing is opening any of the folders that you made, if you were following my last video. And as you can see, we have a whole yellow color. So what you're going to want to do, like for example for the yellow, is you're going to make a new layer. And we're going to name it Shade 1. And then hit OK or Enter. And then what you're going to want to do with that Shade 1 is, if you can see where my mouse is now, you're going to want to create a clipping group. And you want to make sure that's selected at all times for Shade 1. Because well, I'll explain what I'll do in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the eyedropper tool, or the color picker, to select the color yellow we used. And now what you're going to want to do is go to a color that's fairly darker than the color we used. Like, as you can see there, I kind of went down quite a bit. And see, what we're going to do now is take a huge big brush and just put the color in where the shading should be. So, like that. And if you're noticing that I'm not going off the color yellow, it's not because I'm letting go of the mouse or anything. It's actually the clipping group. What it does is it keeps everything that you do for, like, example shading on the layer that it's over. So basically, since we're shading on the yellow, you can't actually draw outside of the yellow. So this is really helpful when you're using a mouse, and even like a tablet, so it keeps you like in line. And basically what you just want to do is just, give areas that need to be dark, just make them dark. And basic just shading stuff. So you just lay the color down. It's real easy, real simple. As you can see, I'm going. And we're going to do 2 layers of shading. We'll have Shade 1 and Shade 2. And basically what we're going to do is, for the first shade, you want it to kind of like spread out and be really big. And then when we go in with the second shade, you're going to want to like stay closer to the actual line work and not go as far out. Oh, excuse me. And now I'm just cleaning it up with the eraser, just making sure it looks alright. Just doing a quick little, making sure it doesn't, like as you can see, like the bottom of the ear shouldn't be shaded, or the top of the ear. So I'm just cleaning that up real quick with a big eraser. Yeah, and just rounding off the ear. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And this is basically the whole thing we're going to do for all like the shading. And it's actually really easy to do. Like once you get used to it, it's super easy. And yeah, so this is just the cleanup part. There's still one more step that we need to do. And again, I use a thinner eraser just to, get the detail. And now I just gotta clean up the eyes. And again, just use the eraser just to, do a little cleanup here and there. And again, you don't have to get too exact, because you're gonna see why in like a minute when we use our next tool to actually make it come out. So it doesn't have to be exact. So you don't have to get like super crazy, like neat with this. You just kind of have to do it a little bit. As you can see, it even looks pretty good right now. It's coming along. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you want to go to this tool that I clicked on just there. It's called the blur tool. And basically what this does is I kept all the settings the same, so when I first got it. So what it does is it actually like spreads out the pixels of the color. So it just kind of like spreads it out and like blurs it and gives it kind of like a gradient. And this is really helpful for shading, especially like this. So, and it really gives it like a light kind of like shadowy, smoky type feel to it. You can't really see it that well on my screen. Like it doesn't look like it's coming out all that good, but that's just because of the video recording. I guess it kind of gets pixelated a bit, but it does give you like a really good like gradient from like the shade color to the base color that we have. So I know it doesn't look that good on the camera, or you can't really tell all that much, but but in actuality, like the final picture, it does look really good, all finished like that. Here's where I realized I could use a lot more shading on the face. So I just go in with a pen tool, very similar to how I started it. I decided to make the shadows a little bit darker, more round. And again, for this first shadow, you kind of want it to go out. You kind of want to use a lot of it. It's where we go into shade 2, where you want to be more sparing with it. But for the first shade, just kind of put it everywhere, you know? And we're going to do this for each layer. So each layer will have its own type of shading to it. So, yeah, the only thing that gets kind of tricky, and I slow down the video again, because, again, I think this is all slowed down. We didn't actually start speeding up yet. The only other kind of tricky part is when you deal with white, for, like, the white of the eyes, as you can see, and the teeth. But that's at the end, and I show you guys how I handle it. So, yeah, and again, you don't have to be super neat. Like, don't feel like, oh man, this looks terrible. Because, like, when you blur it, the edges just kind of go away. So, you really don't have to worry anymore about, what was it? Like, if stuff is, like, not exact, it's, like, a little choppy. Okay, the phone's going off, and I wanted the caller ID speaks out, so I was just listening to it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And again, I go in a lot more detail with the face, throw a lot more shading in, and as you can see, it's actually starting to come along. Um, Looks pretty nice. Okay, this is where we go in with shade 2. Shade number 2. Okay. Clipping group. Again, make sure you select clipping group. And now we're going to use an even darker color than our base. So just go even further down. And then just do the same thing we did. But don't go as far out with this shade than the first shade. Just kind of use it sparingly, like I kind of do right here. Like, it doesn't extend as far out as the first layer of shading. That's pretty much it with it, like this this tutorial. The only thing that gets kind of tricky are the eyes and like dealing with white, but that comes in at the end. I feel like I'm losing my voice. It's getting like super dry. So, and as you can see, like I'm going in slightly closer to the eye than the first shade was. And again, this is pretty good because like it gives you like a different layer of shadow. So it's not just one layer of shading, it's two. And it just gives it the picture a little bit more depth. And again, if you're looking at like the gradient that the blur tool creates, don't worry, it looks a lot better. It's just really pixelated in the footage. But like when you do it on your own, like if you were to do this on Paint Tool SAI on your computer, it'll look a lot better. It won't be as choppy. And then again, take a small blur or eraser tool. I start cleaning stuff up. And again, you don't have to be super crazy about fixing the details. Just erase stuff that goes over lines. So if it goes over the line that you don't want it to do, like on the ear right here, Just look out for erasing that stuff. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do this for all of the rest of the armor. The only thing I don't think I do this on is the blue layer, which, yeah, I don't. Because that's supposed to be like a light, so I just don't want to mess with it. Because it'll seem brighter if we don't add any shading or highlights to it. And it'll help stick out a little bit more, because it won't be as rendered. So once you're all done, you go to the blur tool, and then just blur it up. Again, the blur tool is super useful in SAI, especially for like shading. Like, it's so good. And again, like, since there's 2 layers, you get like a really nice sense of depth. And again, this really isn't hard, and you could do this with a mouse. This is probably the most trickiest thing to do with the mouse, mainly because you just have to worry about erasing stuff and like staying within the lines, more so than the other type of or more so than other types of like the other steps that we did. So and again, I'm using a stylus on a tablet, so it's pretty easy for me. And you get like that natural like writing flow with the mouse. But again, it's not impossible to do with a mouse. So if you don't have a tablet or whatever, it's broken, or you can only use a mouse for some reason, this part 1, 2, and 3, you could use all the steps. And again, like, this one might be the trickiest, but still not too bad. And then I use the eraser tool, kind of round it off, and then I blurred it again, because again, when you use the eraser tool, you erase kind of the gradient, so it'd stick out. And as you can see, just from like doing the face, okay, and then I closed up the folder, and as you can see, just from doing the face and like a really basic shade, the picture does come along a lot. Okay, I set myself up. Now we're gonna have to wait like two minutes or something for the speed up to kick in. And again, I'm sorry about this, guys. Like, I know there's a lot of like dead space in terms of just the video not doing anything. I really tried to fix it, but it just was not. Windows Movie Maker was not allowing me to split the footage to cut like this excess off. So I had to leave it in. That was the only way I could actually make this tutorial. So again, I apologize for just this long wait until like this speed up kicks in. And apologize for me losing my voice. I think I've been talking too much. But and sorry for not uploading videos. I'm just gonna stay this because when this has come up, I haven't uploaded in like 3 weeks, almost a month. With my Let's Plays and stuff, and that mainly because like Photoshop stopped working, so I couldn't make the thumbnails for Sonic Battle, and I didn't want to do any how to draw videos until like July when I get my room and my drawing desk and everything's all set up. So that's why you haven't really been seeing videos from me. But apparently I got Photoshop working again. I didn't know what was up with that, but I got working. So you're gonna see more Sonic Battle coming up pretty soon, and then what else? And then I'm gonna upload this, basically kind of in succession. Oh, excuse me. Just kind of like because I pre-made all these videos. I made all 3 of them, or all 4 of them, including part 0, before I uploaded any. So I'm just gonna upload one after the other, real quick. So yeah, so you get this tutorial as soon as possible. So you just go from part 1, part 2, part 3, and then yeah. So I just want to take this, dull in the video just to say that stuff. And I know I have like 400 subscribers, so thank you all for that. And again, I'm gonna try to keep. I'm gonna get like a capture card. So if you watch my like Let's Plays, I'm gonna try getting a capture card and all that sort of stuff. And just make better quality videos than what I'm making right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna continue. And the reason why I'm not making like how to draw videos now is because I kind of live like the living conditions that I'm in now. It's like I have to draw on like the kitchen table. I'm living with like 6 people, and July I'm gonna move. So and I'm gonna get my own room with my own drawing desk and all that stuff. So I'll have a bunch of time and it'll be really quiet and can make like good looking how to draw videos again. So and I'll probably mid-July you'll see a how to draw video from me, whether it be like request or like a color in video. You'll get a drawing video from me at least once a week at least, and then the Let's Plays would come up every day. It'd be daily. So yeah, so just gotta wait a little bit, guys. Sorry I'm taking like kind of like a hiatus for a little bit, and this speed up is taking its sweet time to kick in. Like it truly is. Trust me, it does get sped up eventually. But again, I used Hypercam to record this, and it seemed like it was recording good, but apparently like the lag from audio to visual, like to the video, it is literally this bad. So I'm still like the video stopped because I'm still talking while like explaining this, but like the video finished like playing out, but now it's just my voice recording over it, and the video ends when the audio finally catches up. So literally this is how bad the lag is with audio to visual. And again, it's been like 2-3 minutes of just stopped, and I really tried to get this stupid thing off, but I just couldn't. So, and again, I'll put in like the description to the video. Like I'll just put the video kind of stops here, go to this time to get into the actual like speed drawing of it, so you guys can skip me just trying to buy time. It is ridiculous. Oh. Again, I hope the speed up starts kicking in sometime soon. And again, like the way I'm recording like the audio for this, it's I'm actually I just hit play on the video and I'm watching it, and we're at like 18 minutes 7 seconds, like 10 seconds. There we go. And I'm just recording my voice over it with the voice recorder on my Surface. And I'm basically just watching this play out like you guys. And the whole point of this was I was just trying to make an audio of there we go. Ooh, finally. Oh, I kind of changed the opacity of this color because it was really dark to begin with. So it was kind of hard to see where it was going with the line work and stuff. So I changed the opacity, but I showed how to do that in like part 0 or part 1. So I didn't go over it in this video. Again, just cleaning up. Oh yeah, that's right. The first dark, like what I'm coloring now, and what I'm coloring the next one in, the base color was so dark, I actually had to use one dark shade, and then for the second, I didn't do a second shading. I just kind of did a highlight where I went a color lighter because I wanted to avoid using black because black kind of doesn't blur in right. And so instead of doing a color darker, I did a color lighter and just kind of gave it like a highlight. So as you could see, instead of going one darker, I went one lighter. So I have a dark and then a light. And then the same thing with this gray. I had to use a highlight instead of 2 layers of shading. Just because the base color was just so dark, you really couldn't go any lower instead of going black. So I just decided to use a highlight instead. But it came out good. It did. Definitely did. Oh, and if you saw that green thing that popped up, it was like the stupid business app that I clicked, but now it like constantly gives me notifications on just business stuff. Stupid. I tried finding a way to get that off, but apparently you just can't. Can't stop like the stupid notifications from popping up. So I figure if I ignore it enough and just don't click the app, they just stop. And again, like you see me shading in the highlight. And as you can tell, like even like right now, oh yeah, that's right. I think I had to cut this video short because I think like the phone rang or someone came in, so I had to make this like 2 parts. Oh, and I was also paranoid from part 2 because I lost some video footage and it was like a good chunk, like basically the whole thing of a speed up drawing, and I guess I got paranoid. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just do like 2 layers, like just two folders of shading and then stop, and then come in again. So we're gonna have another dull in the video. But as I was saying, like as you can see, it's like even with like the simple shading that we're doing, it does make the picture look like come to life a lot more from what we had. And again, it's super easy to do. I can't like stress that enough. Like it's not complicated. You don't really need a lot of practice with this. It's all just kind of super easy. Oh, here we go. Again, that video didn't go on as long, so the lag wasn't as bad. And then, yeah. I don't know if you people talk in the background. I don't know if you guys can pick that up. Maybe you can. Hopefully not. Why'd the video stop here? There we go. I don't remember stopping at that part for so long. And again, just simple blur. And again, this color's light enough where I did go 2 layers of shading like we did before. So as you can see, I'm going in slightly darker, but not as far out. And again, and I know, like in this video, it does look like super choppy, like the gradient and stuff. But trust me, like when you do it on your paint tool SAI, it'll look a lot better. And now we're doing the orange for the ears. And again, this one's kind of hard because you kind of have to follow the first shade you made and then the second shade you made. So I'd actually recommend, if you have to, do these 2 at the same time, like the orange and the yellow, just so you know. I kind of don't because I didn't think of it while I was making the video, but if you could manage to do that, yeah, go right ahead. It would probably come out a little bit better. But again, okay, this is where I stopped the video because all the shading's done. And as you can see, like, again, it does look really, really good. But I'm going to explain how to do the white of the eyes and the mouth, because you have to go a little bit tricky. It's a little tricky, mainly because you basically do the same stuff, but I'll wait until I actually start doing it. I think this video is 39 minutes long. So we got like another like good fast than 10 minutes. Okay, there we go. Again, there's weird pauses in this. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do the white of the eyes. So again, very similar. Again, make a new layer. We're going to name it Shade 1. And what you're going to want to do is go to like a yellow, and then kind of go to like a yellow-gray type of color. And then this will be the first one, because like I know like when like that you see like cartoon characters and stuff like that, it's like the white is always like pure white, but that's usually not the case. And especially for the eyes, like the white of the eyes is never white. It looks white mainly because it's like a light color, usually in like a dark shaded area, but it's usually never white. So what you're gonna want to do is just, you know, put this like yellow gray in for the eyes like I'm doing right here. And it's very similar to how you do this with all the other shading. It's like the first layer of shade goes farther out than the second layer, but like the second layer is darker. So you're going to do the exact same thing that you did here. I just kind of erase out some stuff. For the teeth, very simple. And then you use the blur tool, blur it all in. And then we'll do a second layer. Again, darker, more yellow. Shade 2. I actually forgot to name shade 1, so I'm doing that now. Then click on shade 2. You know, even a darker gray. It doesn't have to go too dark, because again, it's supposed to be white, so use a smaller pen. And again, you can do this all with a mouse. I'm not using any pressure sensitivity whatsoever. But if you did, just on a side note, if you did want to use pressure sensitivity, and like you had a tablet that can use it, as you can see, like where all the brushes are, where it says like 10, 12, 14, and like all the circles, right above that, there's a little box, and it says size next to it. If you check that off, that gives you the pressure sensitivity for SAI. So if you ever wanted to use it, there it is. I don't use it in this series of videos, but if you guys want me to make a video on how to use pressure sensitivity in SAI, feel free to leave that in the comments below. And again, second shade, blur it in. As you can see, it actually looks pretty good, like right now. But what we're going to do that's different from other layers is we're going to add a highlight layer. And what you're going to do is you're going to make it pure white, take the pen, and a very small pen, and just kind of shade. I kind of like doing it around the eye, as you can see. Just shade it in a little bit, nice around the eye, and now we're gonna blur it in again, like all the other layers. But you're definitely gonna want that like shade of white here, because it makes it look a little like wetter, like kind of wet and like glossy, because like the eyes are like constantly wet, unless you have dry eyes, then they're kind of dry, but they're still wet. And again, just blend it in, but you're not going to want to blend it in too much, like just very lightly blend it, you know, just little bits. And like when we zoom out, you can see it really does make the eyes pop out a little bit more. All right, now we're going to go into eye color. And again, since the eyes are so small, especially in this picture, we're only going to do one layer of shading. And again, I just go around like that. Just kind of do like a U shape around the top of the eye. Then another U shape around the top of the eye. And then we're going to blur it in like everything else. Blur, blur, blur. Okay, now we're going to do a highlight. And what we're going to do is go with like a kind of like a lime neon type green. Like there. And we're going to take the pen around really thin. And then just go around the eye like that. Like just kind of follow the shape of the eye. Again, this might be really hard with a mouse. Again, I'm using a tablet, so it's slightly easier. And what you're going to want to do is blend it. I kind of blended it in too much. So you're going to just want to blend it in lightly, and then when you go into like the shaded areas, that's when you kind of blend it in a lot more. Like as you can see, like I'm kind of doing it, and then I just kind of go, you know, two simple strokes around where the highlights in like the normal base green. And again, it makes the eyes kind of glow and pop out a lot more than they are. And to finish this off, we used, we're going to do the glass visor. If you noticed, I didn't color it in. I colored in all the face details first. And, like, did all the shading for that first. Mainly because you want that in for the way we're going to do it. And I'm going to use the same blue as I used in the suit. And I turned off the layers of color for, like, the skin and helmet just so I could see the helmet better. Like, the glass, like, the line work and stuff. And again, we're going to do the basic erase out like we did with the base colors in part 2. We're just going to quickly erase that out. Erase that out too. And you're going to see why in a second. Why we do it this way after all the shading's done. And this is like the last step. Erase, erase, erase. I notice I kind of missed a spot there. But again, like, Ratchet actually does look really good in white armor. Like, you just take the dark gray off. Like, it actually does look good. I kind of like the white and blue. But we changed that. So what you're going to want to do now is make a new group, glass visor. Then you're going to create another layer, and it'll be just a highlight layer. You don't need actually a shading layer. And then what I like to do, or what I do for this video, is take like a highlight, almost white actually, since the color's so bright. And then I just kind of go around just to show like light reflection on it. And then I do some around like the eye. In fact, I think you just need one. I don't think you actually need the second one. I put 2 in anyway. And then just I clean it a little bit up with the eraser. Because you don't want too much. Because it could be overkill. And again, you're not going to really see it all that much after we're done. So don't worry about it. Like, honestly, you probably don't even need the highlight because it really doesn't show up. But I just did it just because. As you can see, we're blending it in. And then we go to the opacity, well, I click on the group, and then I go to the opacity that's all the way up here, and just lower it slightly. And as you can see, like, I lower it to about like a 50, I think. As you can see, like, since it's like glass and see-through and kind of dim, I hope that doesn't come in on the video. The people are talking in the background. So you zoom in, and then I really hope that really doesn't come in on the video. I hope it doesn't pick it up. And that's pretty much it. So after you change the highlighted layer, or the group lighter, that's pretty much it. And I forget what I do here. I think I might just end it. So yeah. Anyway, making the visor with blue, and then changing the highlight, and like putting a highlight on it, and then changing the opacity to make it see-through. It actually does look like there's kind of glass like protecting his eyes. And the reason we did that last is because you want to do the shading for the eyes first, so it looks like there's still like depth in there and stuff like that. And again, I know this picture doesn't look like 100% good compared to the original. I actually might just throw the finished picture at the end in Windows Movie Maker, so you get like a clear, like, kind of HD version of this picture. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's the whole tutorial on how to draw Paint Tool SAI. Or at least the basic tutorial of what I wanted to do. So if you watch part 1, that was the line work. Part 2 was dropping in base color and setting up for part 3, which is the shading. And again, I try to keep it very simple. I know like the videos aren't like the best quality, And I'm sorry I had to record my voice like this, and I'm sorry about kind of like the 2-minute delays, 2-3 minute delays that are in this video, because I just couldn't. Again, I'll try to, like, I'm working on getting like Premiere or something better than Windows Movie Maker. So again, if I make another like paint tool side tutorial, hopefully I'll have that in, so you guys can, so I could just cut out like the stupid time, like 3 minutes of just me sitting here trying to fill time talking over stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. I will get to it as soon as possible. If you have any requests, feel free to leave that in the comments. If you want to see more stuff in SAI, I'm more than willing to do it. I just want you guys to know I'm not like a super professional at this. Like, I don't know everything SAI can do, but I do know a lot of it. So yeah. And I think I said this in like part 0, but I'm just gonna reiterate. I like SAI for drawing. I actually like SAI drawing in SAI a little bit better than Photoshop. Mainly because one, SAI is free and it's easy to use. And 2, it's strictly for drawing. And Photoshop is definitely, you could do more stuff in Photoshop drawing wise than you can in SAI. But since SAI is strictly for drawing, it's a lot simpler and easier to pick up and use, and that's why I personally like it more. Or just to actually do it in SAI first, and then maybe if I want to add like effects, I'll bring this picture into Photoshop and then clean it up that way. But overall, I like SAI as a drawing program. It's strictly for drawing. There's no like extra stuff it can do that kind of like throw you off. It's just strictly a drawing program. And that's what I like about it, and it's super simple and super easy to use. And that's kind of why I wanted to make this tutorial. So I know a lot of people ask like, how do you color in on the computer, or do you use the computer to color, or what have you? That's kind of like, this is kind of like my answer to that. Just this very simple tutorial. I hope you guys can follow along. If you have any questions on like even anything, please feel free. Hopefully I can clarify it in comments. And if I get enough requests on like how to do stuff, I'm definitely open to making another SAI tutorial video. So yeah, guys. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know there's like another minute. I'll just stick around. This is like 39 minutes. So yeah. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Again, if there's any comments, questions, concerns, write it in. I'll try to get to you as soon as possible. So, yeah, I guess I'll just end it here. I know I have like another minute on the clock, but I ran out of things to say. So I'll put the finished picture so you don't get like the whole pixelated look that Hypercam gives this. So I will see you guys in some future video. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you like it. All that good stuff. Alright guys, see you later. Bye bye.